There is a place in MineZ, a biome where nobody goes to, nobody gears in. It's such an out-of-the-way location that no player will bother to step foot in it. But of course, those places left alone will always keep their secrets. So, let's take a lore walk together and uncover the secrets of the MineZ jungle. On the evening of the 28th of March 2021, an interesting message was posted by builder Pichu2002 in the Shopbo Wiki team Discord. He explains in response to Calvin Astrov that there is still an elusive secret yet to be documented since the release of Origins. Though he described the secret as, quote, nothing impressive, he said that it had something to do with the lore, and of course that caught my intrigue. So I decided that I would go on a lore walk to tour each and every known set of ruins within the jungle. In this video, I'll show you the product of my exploration. Starting from Circle, I quickly moved around the jungle, going from ruin to ruin and trying to find anything of interest while also noting the features of each one. The first I found was this one, with a strange pillar jutting out of the ground. In the hole itself, there's an emerald block in the wall. The next one I found, just west of the first, looked more like an actual shrine. It had the same block palette and even the same emerald block. You're going to notice this trend as we move on. But before I could make it to the next ruin, I got snuck up on by a terrifying looking individual. Thankfully, they actually ended up being really nice. They were just waiting for a friend, and so they let me go on and find the next ruins in my trek. Unfortunately, I got a little bit thrown off by the encounter and wasn't paying attention to my map, but I still managed to come across it. It was another one of those pillar things, with yet another emerald block. But interestingly with this one, there were an abundance of skeleton heads on pikes around the area. This leads me to believe that this place must be pretty old, considering how most other places on the map use zombie heads as opposed to skeleton heads. These were not recent kills for sure. Next up, I found this massive staircase thing, and although it shared a similar block palette to the ruins we've seen already, this seemed like a less ancient fixture. Given there are clay pots strewn around and flimsy wooden bridges, I doubt this is anything related to the other ruins. Beside this small, desolate island here, there was yet another massive staircase, but unlike the other one, here was actually something of genuine interest. At the very top, there appeared to be this crumbly, broken watchtower or something. Though made of stone bricks, it didn't bear the shape of the other ruins, and also notice how it says wilderness on the sidebar instead of jungle ruins. So I decided to move on, because the next set of ruins weren't too far away. And wouldn't you know it, it was another one of those pillar things. The fact that they all look identical with the exact same shape and emerald block in the middle has to be an indication that these are all related. How exactly? Well, I have an idea, but I'll get onto that. For now, let's look at this ruin under the waterfall, which took me a bit of searching to actually find, but there's this massive pile of bones in here, beside the emerald. And if you think about how each of those blocks is a cubic meter, then that's a lot of bones right there. Having to backtrack in order to get to the last few ruins, I actually found this one in the middle of a lake which wasn't marked on the MineZ map. It didn't appear to have any emerald blocks, but it did at least have similar architecture to the rest of the ruins, so it could be related to the other things, but it's not easily confirmed. Also, I guess my brain is deteriorating or something, because while editing, I forgot to mention I found these two ruins in between the two stairways. One was another one of those shrine-looking things, and the other one was another buried or underground ruin. Now here's where things get really interesting, and a little more dangerous. After a long climb up a steep mountain to the east of Agni Ignis, I knew exactly which ruins I would be heading to. Whether I lived or died here, I knew this would be my journey's end. So I ran in, and I took all the time that I needed. Before we dig into this theory, let's take a quick look at the MineZ map. I've marked out all the locations of all the ruins and their different types. Red means unique ruins, blue means shrine or tower ruins, and green means pillar ruins. This doesn't provide us with a lot of information, and I really can't see a pattern here. There is one exception, however, and that is the fact that the x-coordinate of the two large shrine ruins are almost identical, and they are almost exactly 640 blocks apart. I can't help but wonder if these two towers are part of something larger, below the surface, something we can't see. If we exclude the far northeast ruins, we could connect the dots and form a border from all of these ruins. Notice how this border encompasses basically the entire jungle biome, except for Agni Ignis. I now want to show you images from each of the ruins we visited. These pillars have a fairly distinct shape, all of them seem to curl in on themselves at their high point. You got that? Good. Now, look at this clip from one of my most recent videos. Did you see it? That shape we saw in the jungle looks fairly similar to the ones found at the ruins surrounding the Library of Axis Mundi. While it's not exact like the rest of them, you can definitely see the hint of Axis Mundi style architecture. But how are these ruins connected to Axis Mundi exactly? Well, the obvious answer would be Emerald Quest, in that all of the Emerald blocks have something to do with the Emerald Geode from the Axis questline, but I'm gonna go ahead and make the bold claim that all of these ruins are actually parts of Axis Mundi itself. Now, I know some of you might be saying, how can that be possible? Axis Mundi is some 3,000 blocks away on the other side of the map. And yes, you would be correct to think that, but you'd also be missing a crucial bit of information, that being the Library of Axis Mundi is merely a fraction of a much, much bigger city. That's the reason why I excluded that one ruin east of Agni Ignis, because Agni Ignis was built while the city of Axis Mundi was still on the surface, and the city was pretty huge. But here's the big question, the one I came to find out, because this theory of Axis Mundi being the ruins in the jungle is kind of an old one I've had sitting around for quite a while now. What was the thing Pichu wanted me to look for? What was it that's never been pointed out? And to be honest, I don't know. The buried king that I found in the jungle, my theory is that this king had a separate temple or burial ground or something created for him outside of the city. The reason being, obviously, humans weren't really allowed into Axis Mundi without Hestral's permission, so he would have to be buried, you know, somewhere outside of the city. So, who was this king? I'm not sure what's written on the sign. It could be his name, but I really don't know. I ran it through Google Translate, I ran it through multiple deciphering websites to try and figure out if it was some kind of code, but I've got nothing. So I'm gonna call on you guys for help with this one. If anyone recognizes the language or the writing or has any leads with this mystery, please message me on Discord or comment on this video or get in contact with me in any way possible, because I feel like this could just be it. And with that, this has been LOREWALKER, and thank you for watching.